Dragon Ball, Shadows of the Saiyan. The sky over Earth burned crimson as a jagged fissure tore through reality, spilling forth an unnatural energy that twisted the air into a vortex of malice. From the rift emerged a figure clad in tattered Saiyan armor, his spiked hair wild like flames, his eyes gleaming with a predatory hunger. His face, an exact mirror of Son Goku's, twisted into a smirk as he flexed his fingers, relishing the weight of his own power. Pathetic, he muttered, his voice dripping with disdain as he surveyed the trembling city below. This world's so-called warriors are nothing but insects. Far away, in the heart of Capsule Corp, Vegeta's scouter exploded in a shower of sparks, the energy reading too immense for the device to process. His jaw clenched. Kakarot? He growled, but the signature was wrong, tainted, like oil swirling in water. Bulma's fingers flew over the console, her face pale. It's not Goku. The energy signature is identical in structure but corrupted. And it's spiking. Before she could finish, the ground quaked, and a shockwave ripped through West City, reducing buildings to rubble. Vegeta burst into the sky, his aura flaring like a blue inferno. Whoever this imposter is, they'll regret stepping foot on this planet. He rocketed toward the disturbance, his fists clenched so tight his gloves creaked. The false Goku, known only as Zykor, the self-proclaimed god of destruction's scion, hovered above the ruins, his tail flicking lazily. He sensed Vegeta's approach and grinned. Ah, the prince of all losers. Come to die first? Vegeta didn't waste words. He lunged, his fist encased in a crackling sphere of ki. Galick cannon. The blast roared toward Zykor, who merely raised a hand. The energy split around him like a river around a boulder, detonating harmlessly in the distance. Vegeta's eyes widened. Impossible. Zykor vanished. A fist buried itself in Vegeta's gut, lifting him off his feet before a brutal knee smashed into his chin, sending him spiraling through a skyscraper. Stone and steel collapsed around him, but Vegeta roared, erupting from the debris in a storm of Super Saiyan blue energy. You'll pay for that. He fired a relentless barrage of ki blasts, each one a miniature supernova. Zykor weaved through them effortlessly, his movements a blur. Weak. Predictable. He caught the last blast in his palm and crushed it, the energy dissipating like smoke. Then he struck, a single, devastating punch to Vegeta's ribs. Bones cracked. Blood sprayed. Vegeta gasped, his vision swimming as he crashed into the earth, carving a trench through the city. Gritting his teeth, Vegeta forced himself up. Damn you. His body trembled, but his pride refused to let him stay down. He reached deep, summoning every ounce of his power. Ultra Ego. His aura exploded into a violet maelstrom, his muscles swelling with raw, unchecked might. Zykor's smirk faltered for the first time. Humph. A desperate gambit. Vegeta shot forward, faster than light itself. His fist connected with Zykor's jaw, snapping his head back. A follow-up kick sent the imposter hurtling into a mountain, the impact reducing it to dust. But Zykor emerged unscathed, wiping a trickle of blood from his lip. Not bad. But still. His own aura erupted, a sickly, crimson miasma that warped the air. Let me show you what true power looks like. The clash that followed shook the planet. Shock waves ripped the sky apart as they traded blows, each strike capable of leveling continents. Vegeta's ultra ego fueled him with battle lust, his power growing with every injury. But Zykor matched him, his twisted version of ultra instinct allowing him to counter effortlessly. Then came the killing blow. Zykor's hand shot forward, fingers piercing Vegeta's chest like blades. The Saiyan prince coughed blood, his eyes wide with disbelief. Gah! Die as you lived, Zykor whispered, his voice a venomous purr. A failure. He ripped his hand free, and Vegeta's body went limp, collapsing into the ruins. As Zykor turned away, his gaze lifted to the horizon, where another energy signature flared, one he knew all too well. Now. Where are you, father? The real Goku, training on Beerus' planet, suddenly jolted upright, his heart pounding. A cold dread gripped him. Something was terribly, terribly wrong. To be continued. The battlefield was littered with debris, the air thick with the scent of scorched earth and ozone. Goku and Vegeta stood back to back, their breaths ragged as they faced the monstrous visage of the evil god Sun Wukong, whose golden fur bristled with dark energy. His laughter echoed like thunder, his crimson eyes gleaming with malice. You thought you could defeat me? He sneered, flexing his claws. I am the true Monkey King, and your world will burn. Just as Goku clenched his fists, preparing to retaliate, the ground beneath them trembled violently. A fissure split the earth, And from its depths emerged a towering figure clad in jagged armor, Turles, the Saiyan from another timeline, his smirk dripping with arrogance. "Looks like I arrived just in time for the fun," he taunted, cracking his knuckles. Vegeta's eyes narrowed. "You?" He spat, recognizing the rogue Saiyan who had once sought the Dragon Balls for his own twisted ambitions. Turles ignored him, instead locking eyes with Sun Wukong. "You're strong," he admitted, "but I didn't come here to play second fiddle." Without warning, he lunged, his fist igniting with emerald energy. Sun Wukong barely flinched, catching the blow mid-air and hurling Turles into a nearby cliffside. Rocks shattered as Turles groaned, but his grin never faded. "Hey! Not bad." Goku and Vegeta exchanged a glance. This wasn't just a battle anymore, it was a three-way war. "We can't let them tear the planet apart," Goku muttered. Vegeta scoffed. "Focus on the god. I'll handle the trash." Before Goku could argue, Vegeta blasted toward Turles, their fists colliding in a shockwave that sent dust spiraling into the sky. Meanwhile, Sun Wukong advanced on Goku, his tail flicking with predatory grace. "Your power is impressive, but it's borrowed," the god mocked. "Mine is divine." He vanished, reappearing behind Goku with a clawed swipe. Goku barely dodged, countering with a spinning kick that Sun Wukong caught effortlessly. The god twisted, slamming Goku into the ground hard enough to crater the earth. Gritting his teeth, Goku pushed back, channeling Ultra Instinct. His body moved on its own, weaving between Sun Wukong's strikes like water. He retaliated with a flurry of punches, each one aimed at vital points, but the god merely laughed, his skin hardening like diamond. "Pathetic!" Sun Wukong roared, grabbing Goku by the throat and hurling him into a mountainside. Nearby, Vegeta and Turles were locked in a brutal exchange. Turles conjured a razor-edged energy scythe, slashing at Vegeta's guard. "Still relying on brute force, cousin?" Turles jeered. Vegeta snarled, his aura flaring crimson as he activated Ultra Ego. "I'll show you brute force." He unleashed a devastating punch, but Turles teleported behind him, driving a knee into his spine. Vegeta gasped, crashing face first into the dirt. As the battles raged, a distant explosion drew their attention. A ship descended from the clouds, its design unmistakably freezes. The hatch hissed open, revealing not the tyrant himself, but Cooler, his golden form gleaming under the sun. "How amusing," he mused, floating down with crossed arms. A Saiyan free-for-all. Goku's heart sank. Cooler's presence meant another wild card had entered the fray. Sun Wukong, however, seemed delighted. "More insects to crush," he chuckled. Cooler's eyes flicked toward him. "I don't take orders from gods," he said coldly, raising a hand. A sphere of supernova energy formed above his palm, its heat distorting the air. The battlefield became chaos. Goku, Vegeta, Turles, Sun Wukong, and now Cooler, all clashed in a whirlwind of destruction. Goku knew they couldn't win like this. He locked eyes with Vegeta across the battlefield, a silent understanding passing between them. For now, they'd have to work together. As Sun Wukong lunged at Cooler, Goku intercepted with a Kamehameha, the beam carving a canyon between them. Vegeta seized the opening, blasting Turles with a final flash that sent him skidding through the ruins. Cooler, unfazed, fired a death beam at Sun Wukong, but the god swatted it aside like a fly. The stakes had never been higher. If they didn't find a way to turn the tide, Earth, and perhaps the universe, would be lost. Goku clenched his fists, his resolve hardening. This was far from over. The battlefield was a wasteland of shattered stone and smoldering energy. Goku and Vegeta stood side by side, their breaths ragged, their bodies battered from the relentless assault of the one who wore Goku's face, the so-called evil god Sun Wukong. His golden aura flickered with an eerie crimson hue, his grin twisted into something far more sinister than Goku's usual confidence. "You're slowing down," Wukong taunted, cracking his knuckles. "And here I thought Scions were supposed to be warriors." Vegeta spat blood onto the ground, his fists trembling with exhaustion and fury. "I'll tear that smirk off your face," he growled, but before he could surge forward, Goku grabbed his arm. "Wait," Goku said, his voice low. "We can't keep charging in. He's playing with us." Wukong laughed, the sound echoing unnaturally across the ruins. "Oh? Finally realizing it? Good. Because I've been holding back." His aura exploded outward, the ground trembling as his power spiked beyond anything they'd sensed before. The sky darkened as if the planet itself recoiled from his presence. Vegeta's eyes widened. This wasn't just strength. This was something else. Something ancient. Then, without warning, Wukong vanished. A split second later, Vegeta gasped as a fist erupted through his chest from behind. Blood sprayed, his body going rigid. Goku's scream tore through the air. Vegeta! Wukong leaned close to Vegeta's ear, his voice dripping with mock sympathy. You were always the weaker one. With a vicious yank, he ripped his arm free, letting Vegeta crumple to the ground. Goku's vision blurred with rage, his body moving before his mind could catch up. He lunged, fists blazing with desperate energy, but Wukong sidestepped effortlessly, driving an elbow into Goku's spine. The impact sent him crashing face first into the dirt. Goku pushed himself up, his arms shaking. He couldn't lose. Not like this. Not after everything. Across from him, Wukong flicked Vegeta's blood from his fingers, his grin widening. You see it now, don't you? You're nothing compared to me. I am the true Sun Wukong, the god of destruction wearing your face. A choked cough drew Goku's attention. Vegeta was still alive, barely, his hand twitching toward Goku. Kakarot. He rasped. Don't. Let him win. His eyes dimmed, his body going still. Something inside Goku shattered. The world slowed. His heartbeat pounded in his ears, drowning out everything but the white-hot fury burning through him. He had failed. Again. His friends, his family, now Vegeta, all because he wasn't strong enough. Wukong sighed, stretching his arms. Pathetic. And here I thought this would be fun. He turned away, as if Goku no longer mattered. That was his mistake. Goku's scream tore through the battlefield as his aura exploded in a maelstrom of gold and blue. His hair flickered between shades, his power surging beyond anything he'd ever reached before. Wukong turned back, his smirk faltering for the first time. What? Goku didn't give him time to finish. He crossed the distance in an instant, his fist connecting with Wukong's jaw hard enough to send him skidding across the battlefield. The shockwave leveled what remained of the ruins. Wukong wiped blood from his lip, his eyes narrowing. Interesting. So you do have some fight left. Goku didn't answer. He couldn't. Words didn't matter now. Only vengeance. The two clashed again, their blows shaking the earth. Each strike was faster, deadlier than the last. Goku fought with a desperation he'd never known, his body moving on instinct, his mind focused on one thing, making Wukong pay. But even now, Wukong was holding back. Goku could feel it. Then came the twist, the moment that changed everything. As Goku launched another assault, Wukong suddenly stopped fighting back. He let Goku's fist slam into his gut, his body folding over the impact. But instead of retaliating, he laughed. A cold, hollow sound. You still don't get it, do you? Wukong whispered. Goku froze. Something was wrong. Wukong's hand shot out, clamping around Goku's wrist. His grip was like iron, his eyes glowing with an unnatural light. I'm not just stronger than you, Wukong said. I am you. Every thought, every memory, every weakness, I know them all. Because I was made from you. Goku's blood ran cold. What? Wukong's grin was monstrous. The gods needed a weapon. So they took your essence, your very soul, and forged me. But they made one mistake. His free hand pressed against Goku's chest. They didn't realize I'd remember. A searing pain erupted through Goku's body as Wukong's energy invaded him, not to destroy, but to merge. Visions flashed through his mind, a lab, experiments, screams. The truth. Wukong wasn't just a copy. He was a fragment of Goku's own spirit, twisted and amplified into something monstrous. And now, he was reclaiming what was his. Goku's knees buckled. His vision swam. He could feel himself slipping, his consciousness fraying at the edges as Wukong's presence overwhelmed him. This wasn't a fight he could win with fists. This was a battle for his very soul. Somewhere in the distance, a voice called his name. Bulma? Piccolo? He couldn't tell. The world was fading. But then, a spark. A memory. Vegeta's last words. Don't let him win. With a roar, Goku wrenched himself back, tearing his wrist free. He stumbled back, gasping. Wukong looked almost amused. You can't resist forever. Goku clenched his fists. Maybe not. But he didn't have to. If Wukong was part of him, then there was another way. A risk. A sacrifice. He met Wukong's eyes, his voice steady for the first time. You want me? Then take me. And with that, Goku did the unthinkable, he stopped fighting. He let his guard down completely, his energy open, inviting Wukong in. For a split second, Wukong hesitated. Then, with a snarl, he lunged, his form dissolving into pure energy as he surged into Goku's body. The pain was unbearable. Agony beyond anything Goku had ever known. But he held on. Because this was the only way. If Wukong was part of him, then maybe, just maybe, he could control him from within. The battlefield fell silent. Goku's body convulsed, his aura flickering between gold and crimson. Inside, a war raged, two souls clashing in a realm beyond flesh and bone. And then, stillness. Goku's eyes snapped open. One pair. One mind. For now. The fight wasn't over. But the rules had changed. And Wukong had just made his last mistake. The air crackled with energy as the battlefield trembled under the sheer force of clashing power. Goku and Vegeta stood side by side, their muscles tensed, their breaths heavy. Across from them, the sinister figure of the evil god Son Goku smirked, his crimson eyes gleaming with malice. His aura pulsed like a storm, black and red tendrils of energy lashing out at the earth beneath him. You really think you can stop me? He taunted, flexing his fingers. I killed your precious prince. Who's next? Vegeta's fists clenched, his teeth grinding together. The memory of his defeat, his death, flashed in his mind, fueling his rage. You'll pay for that, he growled, his body erupting in a surge of blue energy as he ascended to Super Saiyan Blue evolved. Goku, sensing his friend's fury, matched his transformation, golden hair shimmering with a tinge of divine light. We're ending this now, Goku declared, his voice steady despite the overwhelming pressure. The battle erupted in an instant. Evil Goku lunged first, his movements a blur as he aimed a crushing fist at Vegeta's gut. The Saiyan Prince barely managed to twist aside, countering with a vicious elbow to the jaw. Bones cracked under the impact, but the Dark God barely flinched, retaliating with a spinning kick that sent Vegeta skidding back. Goku seized the opening, darting in with a rapid flurry of punches, each strike aimed to destabilize. But evil Goku weaved through them effortlessly, catching Goku's wrist and hurling him into a mountainside. Rocks shattered as Goku pushed himself free, wiping blood from his lip. He's faster than before, he muttered. Vegeta landed beside him, panting. He's toying with us, he spat. But I won't let him get away with this. With a roar, Vegeta unleashed a barrage of ki blasts, the sky lighting up with explosions. Evil Goku vanished, reappearing behind them with a mocking laugh. Too slow, he sneered, driving a palm strike into Vegeta's spine. The prince gasped, his body going rigid before crashing into the ground. Goku's eyes narrowed. He needed a new strategy. Channeling Ultra Instinct, his body moved on its own, dodging a deadly energy wave before retaliating with a point-blank Kamehameha. The beam engulfed evil Goku, but when the smoke cleared, he stood unharmed, his skin shimmering with an eerie dark aura. Cute trick, he mused. But you're still not strong enough. Desperation crept in. Goku and Vegeta exchanged a glance, wordless understanding passing between them. They had one last shot. Combining their energy, they charged forward in unison, fists blazing with power. Evil Goku met them head-on, the trio colliding in a shockwave that split the earth beneath them. For a moment, it seemed they had the upper hand, until the Dark God's grin widened. Fools, he whispered. His body convulsed, his power skyrocketing as black flames engulfed him. The final clash was cataclysmic. Goku and Vegeta pushed beyond their limits, their screams echoing as they poured every ounce of strength into their attacks. But evil Goku's strength was monstrous, his final strike shattering their defenses. As the dust settled, Goku lay broken, his vision fading. The last thing he saw was the Dark God standing over him, raising a hand to deliver the killing blow. The world seemed to slow, until a sudden, blinding light erupted from the sky. A familiar voice rang out. You're not the only one who can defy fate. The battle wasn't over yet. The air crackled with energy as Goku and the monstrous doppelganger, the so-called evil god Son Wukong, circled each other high above the ruined battlefield. Below them, the shattered remains of cities smoldered, and the bodies of fallen warriors, including a motionless Vegeta, lay scattered like broken dolls. The crimson sky pulsed with the weight of their unleashed power, the very fabric of reality straining under their clashing auras. Goku wiped blood from his lip, his breath ragged. Every muscle screamed in protest, but his eyes burned with unyielding resolve. You're strong, he admitted, fists tightening. But you're not me. The evil god laughed, his voice a distorted echo of Goku's own, laced with malice. Fool. I am what you could never be, unshackled by weakness, by mercy. And now, I'll finish what I started. With a burst of speed, the evil god lunged, his fist aimed for Goku's throat. Goku barely twisted aside, the shockwave of the mist strike shearing a mountain range in half behind him. He countered with a spinning kick, but the evil god caught his ankle and hurled him into the earth. The impact cratered the ground for miles, dust and debris exploding upward. Goku forced himself up, his body trembling. He couldn't keep up, not like this. Then, a voice echoed in his mind, Whis' calm, guiding tone. Strength isn't just power. It's understanding. Goku's eyes widened. The evil god was pure rage, pure destruction, but he lacked balance. That was the key. As the evil god descended for the killing blow, Goku vanished. The doppelganger snarled, scanning the battlefield. Running won't save you. But Goku wasn't running. He reappeared above, his aura flaring gold and blue, ultra instinct, perfected. His movements became effortless, his mind clear. The evil god barely had time to react before Goku's fist connected with his jaw, sending him rocketing through the sky. The battle became a blur of light and fury. Goku pressed the advantage, his strikes precise, his dodges flawless. The evil god roared, his power surging in desperation, but his wild swings grew sloppy. Goku ducked beneath a haymaker and drove his palm into the doppelganger's chest. Kamehameha. The beam erupted point blank, engulfing the evil god in a cataclysmic explosion. For a moment, silence. Then, from the smoke, the evil god emerged, his body cracked and bleeding, but still standing. You can't kill me, he rasped. Goku stepped forward, his expression solemn. I don't have to. With a final surge of energy, he unleashed a technique Whis had taught him, a sealing strike, severing the evil god's connection to his stolen power. The doppelganger howled as his form destabilized, his body dissolving into motes of dark energy. As the last remnants of the evil god vanished, the sky cleared. Goku dropped to his knees, exhausted but victorious. Below, the surviving Z-fighters stirred. Bulma's voice crackled over the comms. Goku. You did it. He smiled weakly. We all did. In the aftermath, the universe bore scars, worlds destroyed, lives lost. But from the ashes came change. The gods of destruction, shaken by the threat of the evil god, re-evaluated their roles. Whis approached Goku with a proposition, to train as a candidate for god of destruction, not to replace Beerus, but to bring balance. Vegeta, miraculously revived by the Dragon Balls, smirked. Don't get ahead of yourself, Kakarot. I'm not letting you take the lead in this, either. The final scene faded on a renewed Earth, its people rebuilding, its defenders stronger than ever. The battle had ended, but the lessons remained, and the future, though uncertain, burned brighter than ever before.